Hey Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. Today we are talking about new headliner cards, quote unquote, and it looks like we're going to have to just sit down and relax before we get our Innistrad Remastered spoilers. So, without further ado, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The comments down below will feed that YouTube algorithm and help us out. Links in the description to the eBay TCG player store. Buy some cards from the box opening series. It'll support the channel to open more packs. Also, links in the description for the Christmas giveaway. So go down there and check some things out. Also, don't forget we have a new YouTube membership along with the Patreon. For as little as $1 on YouTube, you can support the channel, see videos early before everybody else, see what's coming up, get the inside scoop, and see a little bit of the Discord action. So, with all that said and done, let's get into it. So, Game Rant had a interesting article I thought we should cover here. It says, Magic the Gathering's headliners are going to be the One Ring hunt all over again. So, Andrea Trama, probably butchering the name, sorry about that, talks here a little bit about that. And as we go on here, Magic the Gathering fans will have a lot of new releases to look forward to 2025. We know that, including these sets, Magic Universes, 3 Universe Beyond sets, 2 of which will be Final Fantasy and Spider-Man, respectively, with a packed release schedule, 2025 with a bang, especially since we have Innistrad Remastered in January. Furthermore, Innistrad Remastered will give us what will become a new tradition for MTG, the addition of a set-specific headliner cards. And I thought to myself, this sounds cool. So I began to keep reading. Now, it says, unlike other 3 Magic Multiverse sets, the Universes Beyond sets released in 2025, Innistrad Remastered won't be standard legal. We all knew that. At least I hope we did. Anyway, while headliner cards are not entirely new in concept, as they are limited versions of a given card, the way they are crafted for each set is dependent upon the themes and said of the expanse, since they are meant to be the ultimate pull. Magic the Gathering is no stranger to this concept either, with a prime example of it being the One Ring from the Lord of the Rings set. We talked about that. It sold for $2 million, so forth, so on. Now, why Magic the Gathering's headliners may break the game like Lord of the Rings. So here's where I was like, this could be good. So it talks up here about Lord of the Rings, and you could talk about all you want, but down here it says, headliner cards are serialized cards from 1 to 500, and only a maximum of 500 copies of each headliner card can be found within a given set. So basically, they're just serialized cards. But instead of calling them serialized, we're going to give them a proper name, apparently, and these are going to be the headliner cards inside of the sets. And I thought, well, that's kind of dumb. We already knew this. But then I realized, without thinking too much, we haven't had a serialized card in a set in a while, so I must read more. So it says, obviously, fans... it gives fans some leeway compared to Magic the One Ring, but it's quite likely that the prices of headliner cards will be rather high, especially for the first one, Edgar Markov. And we already knew that, serialized cards, 1 to 500, certain numbers are very prime. 1, 500, 69, yada, yada, yada. It says the headliner card hunt will be special cards end up increasing sales in each set, leading to the same issues as with Lord of the Rings set and its prices. I don't think they know what they're talking about there, so we're just going to be polite and leave it alone. Magic the Gathering collector boosters may skyrocket in price even more. Now, with that said, we already know the cards are expensive, and the collector series, collector boosters from Magic are going up in price. Now, with that said, that is with collector boosters that don't have headliner cards. So, interesting. But I think there's a lot more things in play here other than just serialization, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. So it says here, what to expect. So right now, only 2 headliners are confirmed for 2025. This is the part I like to get to. But they belong to the very first 2 sets of the year, meaning that each set was scheduled 2025 may have 1 headliner. Edgar Markov is likely going to be a very expensive regardless, especially since it's one of the most popular cards, whereas other headliners will likely be priced based on their power level. So headliners coming to 2025, first standard legal sets in Magic is Aether Drift. It will be called the Aether Spark. It will be tied to events of the story, and it seems to be a planeswalker in and of itself on the current frame for the card. Regardless of its spot in the meta, it will likely spark a chain reaction that increases Aether Drift product prices soon after launch. And we know that. It's not going to increase anything except for collector boxes because that's the only place the serialized cards are. So I'm not really sure if she gets what she's saying. So it makes me ask 2 questions. 1, are we going to have lots of serialized cards, or is it just Edgar Markov? That's a good question to ask, because if it is, I'm actually okay with there just being Edgar Markov cards as serialized and then nothing else. Now, I still want the poster cards and all that stuff, which we will have. But even if they do serialized cards for all the poster cards, which I think they will, they still will fetch a high value from 500 to 1,000 minimum. Now, if they only do Edgar Markov, for example, it will make that card extremely, extremely expensive and will be a chase. But as it mentions in the lower set for Aether Drift, it talks about Aether Spark. It says it will be tied to the events of the story, and it seems to be a planeswalker in and of itself on a current frame for the card. So it makes me wonder, is it talking about one card like Edgar Markov, or is it talking about several cards because, as you guys know, there'll be more than one event inside Aether Drift. So very interesting to look at, and I thought it was pretty sweet. So we'll see what comes of it, but I'm more on the fence with the amount of cards that are coming out. There'll be several serialized, quote-unquote, headliner cards in the collector boxes. With that said, caveat, if there is just one headliner card in the collector boosters that is 1 to 500, and that's the only one you can get, it will be very, very pricey. And it will definitely be a lottery hitting kind of feel. So, and then also with that, we have this little fella here. We talked about this. We've seen this here. This is the Edgar Markov. We kind of just mentioned it, talking about Innistrad. So in this article here, which I thought was really interesting, while this took into 2025's first set of Magic, also last time you're going to see Innistrad Remastered this year, it was stated multiple times during weekly MTG that the next time we see Innistrad Remastered spoilers will be in the new year. As a result, players won't even get a Where to Find Spoilers article from Wizards until 2025. When the time comes, another weekly MTG will kick off the festivities, showing off tons of remastered cards. So, currently the exact start date for Innistrad Remastered Spoils seasons has not been confirmed, given the set is scheduled to be released on January 24th with pre-release-ish events a weekend before. Players shouldn't be waiting long at the latest, we should know much more about the remastered by January 14th. So why are we not getting any information here about the set? Well, so here's what's up in December. It talks about here, it's going to be on the back burner until January for several reasons. Pioneer Masters is coming out on MTG Arena. They want to put some focus on that because God knows Arena's just a shit show, and they want to do anything they can to put some life into it and try to get people to spend money on it. I don't think Pioneer Remasters is going to do that, but hey, whatever. Following on this, 1 week later, MTG players are getting the 2024 final banned and restricted announcement, taking place December 16th. So, coming up next week, we're going to get the final banned and restricted announcement. The ban will have huge impacts on multiple formats at the very least. Many players expect a banning of the One Ring. I don't see that happening. Could it? Is it probably a good thing? Maybe. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it matters that much. But yeah. Otherwise, there's possible that we could see some early Aether Drift spoils in December, although I doubt that because that'll take away from Innistrad Remastered late in January. But so MTG Weekly, gave nobody anything on what's going on, but everything's going to be ban focused starting on the 10th. So. Also, it talks about Wizards has an extended break for Christmas. Cool for them. I wish all companies did that. So it looks like, other than a Pioneer Masters announcement this month, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of news going on inside the Magic market. So I'll do what I can to keep the channel going with some cool new items every day, along with, video gaming live streams, because this is what I like to do. Because I don't have an LGS near me. It sucks. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. There you have it. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table.